And in fact, Mostert has made a very decent start here as well. But Randall, what a ripping start.
That was a great start. Mostert probably got the best start of the lot, but Randall walked the car off with almost no wheel spin. Contact in the middle of the field. That's a big one for Will Brown, who's got the front of that car knocked off. Is that Cam Hill also? So there's a lot of damage to the front of the Coke Camaro for Will. And have a look at that. Jack Smith. That is a heavy, heavy incident down there at turn 1 to 2.
Boards and flags. Safety car boards and flags. Incident turn 1.
So race control just bringing the field now under control because of that, because of the front bumper assembly that's come off Will Brown's car. Tom Moore on the left, he's the engineer for that car, and Jack Smith's car disabled on the road there as well, and the medical team just checking that he's all okay. So didn't see what triggered all that. It was way back in the pack. Cam Hill is also a victim in the process. He's out of the car and all okay. So it's going to take a little while to actually clean this up, but what a great start for Thomas Randall. It's what I was alluding to before when they go down there 2 and 3, sometimes 4 wide. It was actually, I had to think about it for a moment to see where Mostert had come from. He came from all the way back to the right-hand side of the grid and then back out to the left, and he was second by the time they got down here to turn 1. That was a blinder. So what goes on further beyond? So someone's turned Will, and then because he's parked where he is, unfortunately Cam Hill and Jack Smith are just victims in the process.
This will tell a bit of the story, because someone gets into the back of Will reasonably early on there. Just there. Yeah, so that's Cam Hill. Or is it?
No, Jack
LeBrock, sorry. Yeah.
So it was like, looked like Jack was the one that made the contact with Will. This is Frosty, Mark Winterbottom.
Who does a great job here. What's all this? I don't reckon he actually made contact. So that's a brilliant job by Mark Winterbottom.
Yeah, so there's the tag.
Now, Will must have got a bad start too, Crompton, because he was at the back of the top 10 and he was in behind the guys that were 12th and 13th.
So Cam Hill, evasive action, had to basically spin the car, and then Jack Smith had nowhere to go. So this is the out wide manoeuvre that I was talking about before, where sometimes the world can just open up for you. But if all this stuff happens, you end up getting trapped like that. Converting off the line beautifully. The two front runners neck and neck as they grab second gear. And McLaughlin's got a little advantage, and he tries to close down and gets all the way to the white line. They're bringing up the dust. So Mostert switches to the other side of the road. It's McLaughlin over Mostert. One of the Red Bull cars running very wide through turn 1. Macaulay Jones turned around, and there's another car involved in that. It's Thomas Randall. So Jones and Randall pointing in the wrong direction at turn 1. The order is McLaughlin, Mostert, Di Pasquale and Winterbottom.
Heimgartner did a beautiful job. He's up to 5th. That was a great opening stanza into that little chicane at turn 1 and 2. And look at this is on for young and old down into turn 6. Is there contact? Yes, there is. And Davison's around. There's going to be other cars. Simona's in it. Hazelwood's in it. That was a lazy contact there with Rick Kelly. The bonnet's now up on Hazelwood's car. Huge damage to the front of that car and Simona's. As you can see, Simona now off the road. That contact with Rick Kelly at turn 6 has forced Will Davison into a spin, and then a number of cars have concertinaed into the back of him.
Safety car on standby just in case it's in position. And so really all this stuff downstream of what happened there, and a lot of damage unfortunately on the front of that Newlon car for Todd Hazelwood. Huge damage on the front also for Simona Di Silvestro, the Team Harvey Norman entry, and this is the view from Will Davison's car. So walking wounded back to the pit lane. And meantime, this is the battle up the front of the racetrack at the moment, where that margin is exactly 0.48 of a second coming round to win lap number 1. Pretty much an equal margin between McLaughlin, Mostert and Di Pasquale. A little bit of dust dragged up through the last corner. So more of what's going on here to tell the story. So he's down the inside of James, who's down the inside. That's the one that we were looking for to explain it, down the inside of Will Davison. And then that triggered the subsequent damage for everybody else that's now back in the pit lane. Here's another view of it. So, yep, 3 into 1 didn't really go. So he's going to have to cop the penalty. Here's the onboard. So this is with Courtney. Will on the outside, and there's the contact. And so Will was the victim. So that's actually unravelled. I had some questions as to what really unfolded there, and you need to see the replay to fully understand it. This is the view from Will Davison. This is turn 6.
I'll watch Simona in a second. Right there.
Nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go, exactly.
So Stanaway was the one sort of half involved in it, and a little bump there on the way into turn 11. All the cars in front from Kostecki through to Stanaway, 1 through to 10, they're clear. I think every other car, some more severe than others, every other car after that has actually been damaged.
Threading through the traffic. Oh, Crompton gets squeezed on the curb. As he tries to find away inside the big Kev Commodore. He's managed to do it, I think, without any damage, but Scaife goes with him. Crompton like a barge pole through the traffic. Look at Neil, he's finding back on the inside. I don't believe it.
Oh, can you believe it? Oh, no, Mark Scaife managed to hang on to it. Neil Crompton's gone.
Is the car right?
The whole front of the car has been taken off. Can you believe that? Oh, we've got a tyre rubbing here on the Holden Racing Team Commodore. Can you believe this? Drama. Now, that may not be too bad for the factory team.
Oh, can you believe
Look
this?
at the tyre pumping there. If he cuts that tyre, he's going to be in serious trouble.
He was an innocent victim in someone battling for sheep stations that simply should not have been there, mate.
What on earth was the big Kev Commodore doing in the middle of all that?
And Neil Crompton, too, your heart must go out to him. He was another one who got squeezed and all
Doesn't look
that.
like it's going to be too bad, mate. It only seems to be rubbing every now and again.
We're hearing the radio communication there between the Holden Racing Team and Mark Scaife.
Keep an eye on it. Looks like the rain might be coming. Looks like the rain might be coming as well.
Oh, drama here. Everyone's watching with hawk eyes on that front right-hand tyre of the Holden Racing Team Commodore. It looks like the bodywork has cleared itself. We've got rain coming down on pit straight now. Wipers ablaze. So Mark Scaife, so lucky to escape from that without more damage. He got pinched in the middle of that one. Let's have a look at the replays when they're ready.
Garth Tander, another one to emerge unscathed from that mark. Don't forget, these two are still battling for the championship.
What an incredible moment. Look at the Valvoline Cummins Commodore in there behind Scaife. Garth Tander at the wheel.
This is out of Murray's corner. They work up pit straight. Neil Crompton gets a good run out of there, up alongside Matthew Neal. It's a drag race up pit straight for the run to hell corner, and you can see Scaife coming with him. Crompton pulls across.
But what on earth was Matt Neal doing, making a desperate dive under brakes?
A bold late braking manoeuvre.
He's way out of contention with these cars, and he's just set off a massive accident. Matt Neal, 18th position, some 3 laps behind the race leaders. And look at this, it's crazy stuff. What on earth was he thinking?
Look at Tander, he too copped a little bit of contact there as Mark Scaife tried to take evasive action, and Neil Crompton is actually now parked on the side of the circuit there.
I just cannot believe the bad luck that this Neil Crompton has in motorsport. Can you believe it? Look at this Matt Neal. I cannot believe, what was he doing?
Oh, this is the sort of thing that can decide championships.
Oh, we've got trouble, unfortunately, for Matty Payne at 11. He's chucked it straight into the barrier and is going absolutely nowhere for the moment, unless he can grab and grind his way into reverse, which he's trying to do. But sometimes you've got to rocket forward in order to be able to engage reverse. Now he's done it, but is it trapped? Race control will hesitate until they know whether or not he's clear.
It's in there now.
Okay, mate. Just got to wait to get towed down now.
He's had a go.
Safety car boards and flags.
So we've gone yellow. So turn 11, left-hander in behind the pit paddock, unfortunately trapping Matt Payne, and that's the rear view from his car. And he would have brought a lot of confidence into the race
10,
today.
9.
So this is probably now the Matt Payne scenario. He's on the outside. I think there's someone to his left. I think, yes, there is.
James Courtney,
And
I
that's
think it was.
straight in.
Yeah.
James Courtney on the left-hand side. It's Percat,
Actually, no, it's
yeah.
Car number 10. Nowhere to go there, unfortunately, for Matt. and he tried to get in reverse. You could hear it grinding away as he was trying to select it. He's lucky he didn't get rear-ended in the process here, and unfortunately that's triggered the safety car, and they'll have to go and retrieve it. It won't take too long to get that sorted.
And he's now focused on Ellery. Richards is right with Scaife. This is an unbelievable drive from Jason Richards. Ellery is third. Now Murphy needs to get by that WPS Falcon, and Richards is giving Scaife the big hurry up.
Yeah, there's no doubt that for whatever reason in the early phase of these restarts, the HRT car is not quite comfortable in its... Ambrose has had a massive shunt. Ambrose has had a massive shunt. So Greg Murphy's involved. More cars. The track is jammed. The track is jammed.
Can you believe that? That was huge. And look at this. The track completely blocked.
Okay there, mate?
It could be game over. It could be Mark Scaife's victory. We have passed the 75% distance. What will this man do? What will the race director Tim Schenken do?
And how did that happen? More to the point, Greg Murphy's tangled up with it.
Cars are getting through. Cars are getting through. They may not red flag it.
Murphy is out of the car. Ambrose stepping from the car. Did these two tangle? And watch this. Look at these guys.
It's on. It's
Murphy
on.
and Ambrose. These two do not like each other, and they are going to have some serious words. Look at this. They are two heated men. They are two heated competitors. Can you believe this Super Cheap Auto 1000 has ended like this? Well, it's not over yet. And that tells you the story. They did collide.
And the leaders can laugh themselves home at all this. What a day for these guys. And how much work do they have to do to get that car turned around before the next event on the Gold Coast? Now, can cars get through, or do they have to red flag this race?
If that Valvoline Cummins car can get
my
fired
goodness,
up.
how much, look at this, massive damage on the Orcon.
Back to 40
I don't know that they're going to get through
there. Make a pass through
That's what Tim's asking for. Race director Tim Schenken, is there a path through? He's got to make a judgment call.
Car number 2 behind safety car.
Yep.
Colin Bond, Steve Priest there in the black jacket.
There is now a path through.
But it's covered in carbon fibre, metal, bits of glass. Look at that car of Marcus Ambrose. It is smashed.
Matt Halliday in the Orcon Falcon back there looks on.
Oh. Halliday had a great run just recently in the A1 Grand Prix opener at Brands Hatch for Team New Zealand.
And he's off to Portugal this coming Friday.
Here's the replay. What happens here? Here's the leaders. You've got to look at the corner of the frame as the cars head up to the cutting. Oh, big trouble between Ambrose and Murphy.
Ambrose was sideways on the exit of Griffin's. And look at that. They were coming up there almost side by side. Ambrose perhaps...
I tell you what, he went so close to climbing
Over
that
the
wall
wall,
and
yeah.
actually getting out into the bush there. Goodness me. And you know, where are we? Lap 145. It's a 161 lap race. It's going to take a long time to clean all this up.
We're in the super cheap bunker, guys, and we've just tracked down Key's wheel. Obviously, the replay Keys. We'll watch this one.
I tell you what.
Watch your take there, boys, and we'll come to Key shortly.
Well, there was contact from behind. That was a nasty incident.
I need to see that again to focus on it, but it looked like Greg tagged the left rear of Ambrose's car.
This is Ambrose on board.
Yeah, that won't tell us much. It tells us what happened after it. We need to know what triggered it.
And Ambrose is saying, what was that all about? Here it is again, from above. Ambrose, oh, there's a contact there.
Oh, I see. There was something a little earlier that started it all.
That's why I said it. Ambrose was a little sideways coming off Griffin's.
Well, this is an interesting one because this gets back down to the debate that's been going on all year about racing room, about car position. There's no way I'm going to try and call that one because there was more to it as they went through turn 2.
there was some touching between those two cars, and so this will certainly challenge the IPO Peter Wallerman and the DSO Colin Bond. It'll take a while to unravel that one.
Mark Winterbottom leads the way. Oh no, we're not into it.
That's a big accident.
That's really big. So Greg Murphy's involved, and one of the Techno Autosports cars.
Now Murphy, I just spoke to.
I caused it and we are done.
So Murphy just said, I caused it and we're done.
Are you
so,
all right? Sort of.
So that is just on the way into the pit area. So it's a big, fast right-hand corner, about 220 kilometres an hour. And that's Jonathan Webb getting out. That's the back of the Techno Commodore. And a huge amount of damage on the right-hand rear and a lot of damage to the left-hand front then of Murphy.
That's a brand new car. Jono Webb's was a brand new car.
I don't think he's going to be very happy here. It's going to be... He's being nice. He's going to help him out.
He's just giving him a hand. I mean, obviously it was a pretty nasty incident.
Wow. So straight out on the first lap after the break, and this will show you what's happened.
No.
Murph arrives in a hurry. Oh,
wow.
This has been coming for a long time, this sort of incident, unfortunately. It's this huge speed differential as everyone tries to find their space. You know, somebody's at full tilt, in this case Greg Murphy, while someone else is just dawdling along. And yeah, that's just very, very bad and sad to see. It's $1 million worth of race cars there across those two vehicles.
That is heavy impact, really heavy impact.
Give him a little run, and what this does, it won't necessarily, unless he can, no he can't. There's no overlap, there's a little bump, they're moving. Can he outbrake him down the left-hand side? Oh, in the fence, that's massive! That's massive!
This is going to be a big, big incident. The safety car out, Tander and Coulthard in a wild exchange.
Mate, I have to say, that guy's career needs to be over, I reckon. That is ridiculous. I'm really sorry, mate. You did a fantastic job.
So, extraordinary scene on the front straight. Ryan Story in disbelief. And that has torn apart the Dick Johnson Racing Team Penske Ford Falcon. And it didn't really understand who was zigging and who was zagging. We were on board at the time. Let's have a look from the chop-up. So Tander at this stage is needling. That's all permitted. This is fine. There's an overlap and there's air. Then there started to be a position exchange and another, no problem. Where did the contact come and why? Here, Gus turned him.
Absolutely.
Garth has turned him, and he'll no doubt be penalised for that. And that's going to already been a lot of emotion in the pit lane in the last 2 weeks. Wow.
That's fast. That's roughly 250 kilometres an hour.
They've had a few moments, these two, over the years. Has gone straight into the back. It'll trigger a safety car, and that is a disastrous start.
You're right, brother.
What a shame. So Thomas Randall has stalled on the line. He didn't get the anti-stall going and get it mobile, or he's had a failure. And it's in fact been red flagged now, and then heavy contact. We were hoping that everybody would get around.
Control to all teams, advise your drivers. Control to all teams, advise your drivers. Due to the impact on the front grid, all cars to pit lane, please. All pit lane.
That is a significant impact. You can see Andre there very tentatively getting out of the car. And we'll take you through some speeds in a second, because that would have been in excess of 100 kilometres an hour for sure. First gear is 111 kilometres an hour.
When you change out of second to third, it's 144. Third to fourth, 178 k's. So the cars make great velocity in a very short period of time. Let's hope that Andre is all good. He looks pretty tender, as you said, Mark, as he's getting out of the car. And unfortunately, that vehicle of his has copped enormous damage. And similarly, the Thomas Randall car not in very good shape. So an awkward and awful way to get things started, unfortunately, out there for us. But the good news is the drivers are walking away, and we'll get this scene cleaned up as quickly as possible.
So you watch this, he moves, and then he moves again, and that's when it stalled. That's probably close enough to 150 kilometres an hour, I reckon that is.
That's what you don't want to see at the start of a motor race. Okay, so
Race control safety car proceeding to pit lane with field behind us.
oh, man, yeah, we're breathless. That's a nasty, nasty shunt. Oh, monstrous trouble here.
Safety car boards and flags. Safety
Is
car
an
boards and flags.
extraordinary incident. There are cars everywhere. Golding's right in the centre of it. Courtney's backwards. Hazelwood,
Flag,
Smith,
red flag, red flag.
red flag. Slade in the middle of it. There's got to be 10 cars there, hasn't there?
Lee Holdsworth, enormous damage on the front of the Penrite car. James Golding's car, terrible. Macaulay Jones.
Brock Feeney.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Just make sure you're okay.
So this is Macaulay Jones and Pertamina backing on that car this weekend. New livery and trouble also for Todd Hazelwood up at turn 11. Goodness me, there's a fire going on there at the front of the Macaulay Jones entry, and this is extremely bad news for Brad Jones, who's already had a cost. Oh, and they need to get that out in a hurry.
He's going to press the onboard fire extinguisher system is what they're doing. So Nick Percat actually went back over to try to help with Macca and actually put the onboard system. Here we go. Now, James Golding has actually grabbed a fire extinguisher from the local officials. So is Brock Feeney. Well done. The level of cooperation there, sportsmanship between those competitors. Well done. Nick Percat, James Golding, Brock Feeney. That's Macca there, isn't it, in the foreground? Macaulay Jones trying to put his car fire out.
James Taylor is the race director for Motorsport Australia, and on the right-hand side of our screen is the driving standards advisor, Craig Baird. So they've...
Car 6, 3 members from you as well. You're a part of that list, please.
That was the voice of Paul Martin in the background. So he was talking to somebody in the Tickford crew there in relation to Waterstoke. Does this unpack what's gone on here? Oh, yes, horrible moment then for James Golding. And then all this lot have got nowhere to go. They have literally arrived in the middle of a gigantic accident. So it starts with James Golding tripping over right here, gets it crossed up, launches across the top of the curb, lucky not to roll it, and that has had the effect of tripping over Randall, and then the rest of them are all doing 150 kilometres an hour, and they drive smack bang into the middle of a gigantic mess. And that's going to take some time to clean up. I think I can say with a reasonable degree of confidence that all drivers are okay and out. Man. So James let go of the wheel and crossed his arms there. So that was a shocker. This is the view from Thomas Randall's car. At least he gets to scoot out the other side. But what's gone on behind him at this stage is high-grade warfare. Oh, and we've got trouble for Jackson Evans, and he's been bitten at turn 8. Red flag again in qualifying in Adelaide. And a disaster for the Kiwi and Brad Jones Racing with a hugely damaged car.
Now, what will happen, because I don't know whether any of the lead competitors got across the line to do their time. Mostert was on a great lap. Waters was on a great lap. Matt Payne was on a great lap. Brad Jones there looking on. And that's a very, very big incident there for Jackson Evans. Huge accident in the SCT Logistics Camaro. Look at the front of that car.
How are you feeling in that?
I hope he's okay.
That's winded him. So Brock Feeney has ended up being quickest. We didn't get to the completion of those laps. It had a lot of energy in it, everybody pushing to the max. Good to see Jackson moving around in the car, but that has winded him. You only got to look at the damage on this car to understand the energy and inertia that's gone through it. Everything in safety system land has done exactly what it's meant to do, and it's triggered the red flag, and the field has come in, and that meant that Di Pasquale and Percat survived. Payne and Reynolds didn't get in. But all attention focused here on this man, who's just been re-signed for 2025. He got the curb. It's the same deal as we saw earlier in the weekend. And then it's shunted across to the right-hand side of the road. So it's almost a carbon copy of what we saw earlier in the weekend.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Stanaway one, wasn't it? Stanaway did exactly that. All the wheels come off the ground, and then it glided. It actually stayed in contact with the left-hand fence for longer than any of those other cars. Watch this. So as he goes in, bang, have a look. All four wheels off the ground, huge forces. That'd be 55G or something at that point. And then the car stays in contact with the left-hand wall. It runs along the battery world sign the whole way along as it gets towards the Velo, and then there's a relief in the fence there that just then pops it out. It hits the left-hand front and careers it across the road into the right-hand fence, which is where Cam Hill ended up the other day. Similar style scenario.
And that was Petter's Super Shock damper just separated from the car across the road. Left front wheels parted company. That's massive damage on that car that's going nowhere, and you could see the look on Brad Jones' face there a moment ago. He understands the financial implications of that. But eyes are on Jackson Evans at the moment to make sure that he's safely out of the car. The medical team are down there at the moment. It's going to take a little while to tidy this up, and unfortunately very similar scenario to what we've seen earlier in the weekend with the turn in at turn 8, getting up on the ramp, clouding that inside wall, and the dismay in the garage at Brad Jones Racing evident there. And unfortunately, he's hit it so hard that it's flicked into the left-hand side of the road.
Attention all teams, due to time remaining, qualifying session will not be resuming. I'll repeat.
Safety car's about to be deployed. Oh, we've got a car on its roof. It's Paul Morris at turn 7.
Well, this is a very, very nasty accident. The Team BOC car has pulled up alongside to make sure that Paul Morris is okay.
It's Brad Jones, who I think is just going to go over there and make sure that he's okay.
Marshall's quickly onto the scene here.
Guys, he is talking to the boys on the radio. There's some frantic scenes down here, of course, with family and friends and Paul's mother in the pits looking on the team, but they are reassuring, saying, look, he is okay. He's talking to us. Don't panic.
And good on Bradley Jones there for stopping and making sure that Paul was okay. So not surprisingly, we're under safety car conditions, but that is surely the least of our concerns at the moment. We certainly hope that Paul Morris is okay in that one. That's a horrendous sight. The Zinger replay will show contact into the wall, and it flips the Team Cirame car upside down and rolling.
Yeah, fortunately, the rollover, now that I've seen it, wasn't as bad as otherwise might have imagined. So side by side, the reason was Brad's car tripped over the curb, and they did both back in there.
Oh dear.
Nasty incident. And Paul Morris will be wondering what on earth happened then. All of a sudden, he just would have been crunched from the left side. Oh, the guardrail's done a great job there of just cushioning that impact. And in rollover terms, it's not that bad. I mean, it's a pretty wild incident to witness, but a relatively gentle rollover as Paul now scrambles free.
thank goodness for that, because that was quite scary for us to watch. Just imagine what it'd be like to be inside of the thing. But the great news is that Paul Morris can now head on back to pit lane, assure everybody that he's okay. The family are here, as you heard Daniel Gibson tell us. That car is an absolute write-off.
Paul's wife there, obviously looking pretty concerned about it. Bradley's had a moment which has then steered him right. It really didn't like the bump at the top of the curbing there, the two of them side by side. And it's flicked into the side of the Sirame entry. Just ridden itself up the wall. Power to the road, and it's a lovely jump by both the boys off the front row. Hill's made a very good start. He's made ground, and in fact, I think he's going to lead to one, and he does. Hill grabs the lead, and that's a big statement. His teammate drops into third. Will Brown's up into fourth, and he's displaced Heimgartner. Now Feeney up on the outside on the run to turn 3. There's shadows up here, and there's leaves on the road. It's a challenging turn, this one. He tries to force the point, and have a look at Percat. Percat might round everybody up by the time they get to turn 5. He goes touring on the outside towards the aquatic centre, but back around the outside comes Hill. Nice work.
Very big jump there. Jack LeBrock into the fence at turn 5. Now I reckon he got a little bump off the way there. That car's gone in hard. I think Stanaway was involved in it. Very good work by Percat to pull in behind his teammate there, Hill, at turn 5, because that was going to be horrific.
8,
so here we go.
7,
safety car's been
6,
called. David Stewart
5, 4,
is making that
3,
call.
2.
Everybody back to safety car speed.
Safety car limiters must
but
be
that
engaged.
was quite a big incident, and that car has made serious contact with the exit wall. Same spot as James Courtney from yesterday.
What a shame. Tough day yesterday also for Jack. And he's had terrific speed so far this weekend.
Supercars can pay for this one. This is going fair, this check.
Jack LeBrock 12th in the championship. Unfortunately, heavily into the wall. And he's out of the car and okay, so that's good news, and applause from the crowd. But that car's got some serious bruises on it. Erebus Motorsport, Barry Ryan, engineer for him in the background. Here's what happened. Here's the replay. So Percat's out wide, and then he tries to sneak up the inside of Hill. And his contact was that Ryan Wood on the inside, I think it was.
Yep.
So Ryan Wood on the inside in the Mobile One Truck Assist entry, and heavy contact with the wall for the tyre power entry. Out of turn 4. This is one of the most challenging corners on the track, and he gets up the inside, and there's the contact. We're riding down the sill panel of Ryan Wood's car, and you were on board for the side-to-side contact there. Another view, and unfortunately, he wipes the wall on the outside, but the trajectory of the car with the broken steering has fired it straight to the inside wall, plucked that front bumper assembly off the car, and it's done a nasty amount of damage. So we're under the control of the safety car.